The book of James, chapter 2, and verse 26, and it reads, "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash. And give double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, to the Akim and the Akwaf that listen and learn to you. I say Shalom. This brother Bomb Malak coming at you with a quick lesson. Well, I don't know if it's going to be quick, but coming up with a lesson. And this lesson really is just going to deal around work, because 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, all they think you have to do is just confess with your tongue. Oh, good old JC is Lord, and and that's it. That's the end. All you got to do is, you can continue to do everything that you were doing. You can continue smoking your black and miles. You can continue going out here being whores. You can continue the same message that we're gonna say every day. You can continue to live an alphabet lifestyle, but in the end, when you're about to lay on your deathbed, you might have some Christian woman coming over there telling you, "Do you know the sinner's prayer?" And all you got to do then is just, say, "Yeah, I believe in JC," while you're on your deathbed, and you're just going to go to heaven. You're going to go to the spirit world, because everybody go to the spirit world. There's no place called hell, but that's another day for another subject. But today we're talking about work. In the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 26. Again, it said, "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." So you got to put in this work. And we're going to look up this definition of work in a Google definition. Because our people are still, you have to, show all things and hold fast that which is good. Work, activity involving mental or physical effort. You got to put in some effort. So you can have that faith, but you still got to have that works behind your faith. Activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. So you're going to have to put in work, and it's going to have to be a physical and it's going to be a mental effort. Because, we go on the highways and the byways. That's a mental and a physical effort that you have to put in this work. See, but again, 2/3 of the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans think that, hey, all they got to do is just go to church, listen to a good old whatever called sermon, a prosperity message sermon, and they can come back, give your tithes, and the Lord Yahweh Shai, He's gonna open up everything to you. But it's gonna take work, man. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to the first precept. It's gonna be Matthew 15:8. It said, "For this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." And that's what y'all do when you go to them churches. Why? Because you don't want to do this labor. You don't want to. You just go, you sit down in the pew, and y'all can just get that prosperity message, and then y'all leave out and y'all been blessed, and you'll put it on your car tags. I'm blessed, so blessed. But you put in a mental and a physical effort when you go to that job. But for the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, all y'all want to do is just open up your mouth and say, "Hey, I love Jesus." And Jesus is the Lord, is he's the head of my household. And that's one thing about the Negro woman. She gonna always put Jesus the head of her household, but we know that the man is up over the woman, and the Lord Yahweh is over the son. Yahweh Shai. But see, our people, they're gonna draw nigh with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, because they don't want to put in the work. They just want to give that lip service. See, it's hard work, man, going on the highways. It's work, but it's a labor of love, though. It's hard work, but it's a labor of love. Because we love Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. We love the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So this is our labor of love. This is how we show the Lord that we're thinking about Him, that we desire His presence. But see, y'all just want to, honor Him with y'all lips. And then what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna go put a black and mild or a blunt in your lips after that. What you gonna do? You gonna go eat abominable foods after that. See? Let's go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 7. We're gonna start at verse 11. The book of Zechariah, chapter 7 and verse 11. "But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears, and that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, their minds, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua host have sent unto his spirit by the form of prophets. And we know the prophets are back on the earth. So the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, right? You got prophets back on the earth, and we believe the old prophets are starting with the apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Apostle Tahar and on down. And then you got teachers. Everybody is not a prophet, but everybody can be a teacher. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua host. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua host. And this is about to happen again, because 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, again, let's go back to Matthew 15, right? It said, y'all gonna draw near, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, but honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And this is about to come back again, where y'all gonna be trying to honor the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, but he's gonna turn a deaf ear to y'all. He's gonna turn a deaf ear. Why? When these nuclear missiles get to flowing, when Jacob's trouble come and hit, y'all gonna be starving, y'all gonna be hungry, y'all gonna be doing, but y'all didn't do the work. Y'all didn't do this labor of love, this act of labor of love towards the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and his word. Verse 13 again say, therefore it come to pass that as he cried, they would not hear. So they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua host. And we know that y'all gonna be crying, when this Jacob's trouble hit. Y'all gonna be crying when World War III hit, and y'all gonna be crying when them nuclear missiles start flying over here to Babylon the Great. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is gonna say, what? Hey, I didn't hear it. I can't hear you. I can't hear your words, because A, you've been calling on a pagan god. 2, you forsaken the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Verse 14, and we know, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28:64, but I've scattered them with a whirlwind among all nations. So Israel is among all the nations, whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate. And we know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. And we are desolate. Everywhere we go, when you go, you look at condition of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. What? You're desolate. Why? Because y'all don't want to put in the work, man. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10. See, you got to put in the work. Verse 12. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And it reads, and now Israel, what doeth the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua thy power require of thee? But to fear the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul. So when you serve somebody, you doing an act of labor. You laboring. You go to a restaurant and them servers bringing you your meals. They doing a work. They doing labor. So you got to serve the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Yeah, when you love him, you're gonna serve him. You're not just gonna be Matthew 15 and 8. See, our people don't want to work. Our people don't want to work. Matter of fact, let's go back to James chapter 2. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. Hey, man, you got to do some work, man. Look up this definition of works. Activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. You got to serve the Lord. Verse 12. And to serve the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Verse 13. You got some things that got to do to keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. Verse 14, giving you a blessing, it said, behold, the heavens and the heavens of heavens is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua thy power, the earth also with all that is therein. Hey, 15, only the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua had delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. And as it is this day, man, that's a blessing that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah of all the nations, he chose our seed, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why? Because that's love. That's love, man. Book of Luke, chapter 9 and verse 62. Because you got to work, right? We're talking work, right? And Yahweh Shah said unto him, no man having put his hands to the plow and looketh back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. No man having put his hand to the plow. And what a farmer do? He go out and plow. What do a prophet do? He go out and plow. He plowed his word. He plowed his word, you know, and highways and the byways, in a chief place of concourse. That's what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah sent the prophets back to plow. We're not looking back. Because we got what? That faith. We got that labor of love. But 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all not trying to have that labor of love. Y'all don't want to show the labor of love towards the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah and his sons and his father and his son's name. Again, St. Luke, chapter 9 and verse 62. And Yahweh Shah said unto him, no man having put his hands to the plow and looketh back is fit for the kingdom. So you got to do some work, man. You got to do some work. Why? Because the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah right here said we got to serve him. Right here in verse 12, to serve the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. You got to work, man. You got to work. Let's go to Philippians chapter 2, man. The book of Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. It said, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to work, man. You got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to work, man. Work is required in this truth. Work is required, you know, to enter into the rest of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You can't just open up your mouth and say, you know, hey, again, Matthew 15. You can't just, you know, draw nigh to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah with your mouth. You got to get out here and work, especially you men of Israel. Get out there and work. No one is telling you that you're a prophet, but you can get out there and teach. You can read. Get out and work, man. Show your labor of love towards the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah in his name, man. Where was that, man? First Corinthians chapter 15. I was in Philippians. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 58. And it reads, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord Most High. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Most High. See, you got to work, man. See, you can't let your pastor go up there and tell you all you got to do is come up to church services on Sunday. And you're going to be saved in the name of JC. Hell no, man. You got to get out here and work. He working, even though he working as a false prophet, but he's working. He's laboring. And his labor is going to be in vain because why? He's not calling on the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You got to work. 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Most High. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Labor, you got to labor, man. You got to labor in this truth. Everything is still is dealing with work, man. You exerting a physical activity, a mental activity. It's time to work. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9, because we still talking about labor and we working. For ye remember, brethren, our labor and travail. For laboring night and day. Laboring night and day. Paul was all over Asia Minor, doing work. All the apostles, they was always on the move, man, doing some work. You got to work, man. They just didn't sit there and listen to Mashiach Yahweh Shah, giving them, you know, this holy word so they can sit on it. They was out there plowing, man, plowing. That's what the men of Great Millstone doing, and those brothers that are teaching likewise doctrine, such as myself, working, laboring. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9. For ye remember, brethren, our labor and travail, for laboring night and day, because we will not be chargeable unto you, unto any of you. We preached unto the gospel of the Most High. We out here preaching the gospel of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. Preaching it, man, teaching it. See, again, but 2/3, they just think that, again, somebody's gonna, when they on their deathbed, somebody gonna come up and they just gotta say the sinner's prayer. And then they gonna, go to heaven. Esau can have his heaven on earth. But y'all gotta go to the spirit world and have a heaven. Be in a blissful place. No, man. Our heaven is gonna be played out on earth as well. Because what? We're going to be in charge. We're going to be, the ruling authorities. But you got to, some work that got to be put in. First Thessalonians 2 and 9, for you remember, brethren, our labor and travail, for laboring night and day, because we will not be chargeable unto any of you. We preach unto you the gospel of the Most High. We're preaching unto you the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. We're preaching it. We're laboring, man, night and day. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 11. It says, let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest. See, we're trying to labor, therefore, to enter into that rest. What rest? The rest, the bosom of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Go back to James. For as the body without the spirit is dead, that's what unbelief is, being a dead spirit. So faith without works is dead also. Everything all the scriptures just go right back to one another, man. Precept upon precept. Hebrews 4 and 11. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest. Well, we want that rest. We want that rest where Esau can have his knee off our throat. We need the rest of Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. You're going to fall. Why? Because you're not putting in that work, man. Unbelief, will cause you not to put in the work. Activity involving mental or physical efforts done in order to achieve a purpose or result. That's what Hebrews 4 and 11 is saying. That's what Hebrews 4 and 11 is saying, man. So it's time for you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Thought I had another precept, but we're going to close it out there. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest. We're trying to enter into the rest, the kingdom of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. That's the rest that we're trying to enter into. Lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Don't be an unbelief. Don't refuse to work. Get out there and do your job. Y'all will go, especially 2/3, they'll go to that boss, they'll go to that job, and they'll give everything that they got. But when it comes to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, verse 12, Deuteronomy 10 and 12, and now Israel, what doeth the Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, thy power require thee, but to fear the Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, thy power, to walk in all his ways, and you walk in his ways, you're going to do the work, you're going to keep his laws, statutes, commandments, and to love him, and to serve the Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, thy power, with all thine heart and with all thine soul. How can you serve the Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, with all your heart and all your soul if you're not putting in the work, man? You got to serve it. We ain't talking about just giving your little tithes to your prosperity pastors. Not talking about that. You got to serve. You got to get out there and do some work, man. You got to get out there and show your labor of love towards the Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. Matter of fact, I think that's what we're closing on, the labor of love. I think it's in Romans. I ain't read it. Romans or Hebrews 6 and 10. I think Hebrews 6 and 10. I think I read that. Yeah. I think I read that yesterday. We'll close it here. The book of Hebrews, chapter 6 and verse 10. It said, for power is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, and that ye have ministered unto the saints and do minister. You got to work, man. We minister unto the saints. And who are the saints? The saints are you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. But on this go around, we're talking about the hopeful elect of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans on this go around. For Hebrews 6 and 10, for God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh, and that ye have ministered unto the saints and do minister. You got to do work to get into the kingdom of heaven. Matter of fact, we're going to close it out right here. I want to close it out there, but no, we're going to close it out in Acts. Because there's some work going to have to take place. Acts 14. We're going to close it out here. Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. Because it's going to take work, man. The book of Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. It's a confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in faith, and that we through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Because you're going to have to work this. You're going to have to show some major work, man. You're going to be moving. You're going to be moving left, mister, to the right, to the left. You're going to be, it's going to take work, man, to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Why? Because all hell's going to break loose. Jacob's trouble. World War III, the implementation of this, the sea hill. Spoken on book of Revelation 13, 16 through 18. Hey man, you're gonna be moving. You're gonna be trying to maneuver, man. You're gonna be doing everything. But we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah that He gonna guide our steps. But we still gonna have to do that work. We're gonna get tried in the furnace, man. It's time to put your work in now. It's time to put your application in now. It's time to put your application in now, man. So that you can be first fruits of the new kingdom by putting in that work. So I'm going to close it out there. I want to give our honor, our glory, our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekahakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, to the Akim and the Akwaf that listen and learning. To you I say Shalom.